Hi guys, it's Carisa and I have a thrift haul for you today. I have something in my eye also. I am coming to you as a sweaty mess, fresh off of a trip to the thrift store, and I have items here from two separate trips. I went about 5 or 6 days ago, I think, and I don't know, when was it that I went? I have this vase, potting vase. What do you call that? It's really dirty inside. This was $3.99. I have a second planter. Is that what it's called? Planter? Vase type thing. This one is also quite dirty on the inside. And this one was $2.99. And lastly, I have this. Pearlized, bumpy tissue box holder, I believe. This was also $2.99. It's a little beat up. There's some chips on it. My plan for these three items is to use them as brush holders because my current situation with my brushes, it's a little bit messy. And I feel like I need larger containers or containers with larger openings. And I was planning on stopping by Marshall's on my way home from the thrift store to get items for that, but I thought I would check out the houseware section. And I kind of felt bad for this ugly little tissue box. I wasn't really sure that anyone would ever give it a chance. It makes me think of my 7-year-old self who loved unicorns and things that looked like this. And if for whatever reason I don't care for at least the two planters as brush holders, or someday I don't want to continue to use them as that, I like them enough to actually use them for plants in the future, so I will hold on to those. I just dumped the clothes all over the floor because I thought that would be easier. This first item, I'm tempted to not even show it to you because it's kind of whatever. I found it there and it was a good price. But I think I'm going to hold on to it and put it in our costume bin because there is a Halloween costume that I've been kind of sort of mentally planning, even though I don't think I'm going to go anywhere or do anything. And this stained skirt right here, the stain isn't part of it, but this skirt right here I thought would be good for that. And this was $4.99. And tell me if you think you know what I would use this for. If you get it, I will give you a prize. Actually, it's not that hard. Never mind. Let's not talk about it. It's still summer. And even though it's still summer, I have some sweaters. So I really don't do well with warm weather clothing at the thrift store because most of it has shrunken and is just in really bad shape. I don't know if it's not made well or I always look, but I don't do well with that kind of clothing. So that's the main reason why you haven't really seen any hauls from me lately. So here is a sweater. And I really like it. It's kind of like this persimmon color. It is maybe more on the orangey side, but it's reading really red on camera. This is by Eddie Bauer, and the size is a mystery. We'll never know what size this is. But the tag said the store thought it was an extra large. And it was $7.99, which is kind of a lot, but I guess not really because it was probably a lot more originally. This I don't even like very much. But I kind of felt like future me would thank me for having something like this on hand. I am not the body type for the clothing style that I like. Does that make sense? At least that I don't think looks good on me. But I think things like this, even though this isn't really my style, it looks pretty good. And I'm gonna probably get a lot of use out of this. And it is a black, what do you even call this? It was in the section with the cardigans. It's short sleeved, which is not my favorite, but it has sort of a faux cowl neck type thing going on with snaps and buttons, and it splits open like a cape with sleeves, like a vampire sweater. I don't really know what this is. It's from Fashion Bug, and it is a size 18-20, and it was $4.99. I've already talked about how I think thrift stores around me are overpriced. And I know some of you think that I pay too much for this stuff, but this is just what it costs. This is the cost of participating in thrift shopping where I live. Some people, their thrift hauls, they pay like $1 a piece for things. I don't live where you live, I guess. I don't. This is the first time, I think, maybe you remember differently, but this is the first time, I believe, that a sweater that looks like this has fit me and been in decent condition without having a major stain on it or anything. Because usually these run way too short. I think maybe they shrunk, but they're very short and boxy. It is a cardigan sweater. It's pretty heavy, actually, and it has this design around the neck like this. Makes me feel like I look like somebody's grandma. This is the way to show the world on the outside who I am on the inside. And this is a 2X, and it was $7.99. Feels like it's pretty much brand new, so I think that was worthwhile. What are those sweaters called? I wanted to call it a Fair Isle design. Is that a thing? This word? I feel like that's an old word I pulled out from my old Delia's catalog days, you know? This is a skirt. It has a slight pinstripe to it, I guess. It has elastic on the back, on the sides, and it is a Worthington size 20. I don't know, I need to branch out a little more. I need to wear some new stuff, so let me just try this, right? This was only $5.99. And these last two shirts, okay, so this is a men's shirt. I got this out of the men's shirt section. It's a St. John's Bay size large. It's a little bit small on me. It was $6.99, and it's just a pretty basic flannel. I like the colors to it. This one I bought thinking if Mike doesn't want it, then I will wear it. Because it's a little bit small, and I think it would fit him better. And I really would like to learn how to sew, because it would be so nice to be able to shorten the sleeves on something like this. You know, like bring the cuff up a few inches. But this is less of a flannel. It feels flannel-y, but it's really thin. It's more of a shirt than a flannel. This is an extra large, and it was $6.99? $5.99. And lastly, this is really exciting for me. First of all, even if they fit, it wouldn't matter because they're for a lifetime ago when I was a different person, but basically almost every pair of shoes in my closet is too big for me now. I must have carried an awful lot of weight and just inflammation and bloat in my feet, because if I put on any of my old pairs of shoes, there's at least an inch in the back by the heel where there's no foot, where there used to be foot. I learned that a few weeks ago when I was going somewhere with Mike and I wanted to wear a nice pair of shoes, you know, something different than flip-flops, and when I went into the closet, every pair of shoes was too big. And that was actually really exciting but awful at the same time, because I didn't have anything that would go with what I was wearing that day. So I had to wear a pair of shoes that were much too large for me. And it was kind of an exciting thing to discover. Also, I really don't need to hold on to any of those shoes anymore. They're all from when I worked office jobs places, or, you know, needed to wear heels on a regular basis. And I'm not going to wear any of that stuff. So I'm starting fresh at the thrift store, and I actually did really well. I don't know if there's normally really good shoe options there, or if I was just kind of opening my eyes more, because I think I tend to be really picky. I don't know, I don't think I ever really looked that hard or gave it a chance. This is a pair of ankle boot type shoes. I don't know what size they are, but it says on the tag that they were a 9.5, and they were $7.99. These are a pair of, I guess, loafer type shoes. They're a little bit dirty. I've got to wipe these down. I like to spray, you know, disinfectant on the inside and all that, but they're in pretty good shape. They're black with a white or cream colored top stitch. They've got nice padding on the bottom. They're Naturalizer brand. I don't see the price. I don't see the size again, but these are also marked as a 9.5. They were $10. These you already know about because I just posed for a thumbnail with one of them, so I know you already saw it. But this is a pair of boots that I really liked. I was so glad these fit. They're this nice kind of mahogany brown color, like a slightly reddish brown color. Go up to the ankle. The fuzz on the inside is not in the best condition, but nobody's going to see that. I guess that means that they're $9 right there. And they were $6.99. And I have to tell you, just a little story, just a disclaimer. So I was looking at the shoes, and I saw this really cute pair of sort of like an UGG style boot that had a little bit of a wedge heel on the end, and they were really brand new looking. They looked great, and they said they were my size, and I went to try them on, but I got this overwhelming smell of vomit. It smelled like cat puke to me, and you guys know I've had some history with cat puke at the thrift store, so I thought, it can't be. Am I smelling puke? And thank goodness I looked before I stuck my foot in the shoe to see if they fit. There was definitely puke on the inside of the shoe, like going into the shoe, and the person who donated the shoes just put them in a bag, I guess, and didn't even try to wipe it off. It was just fresh puke right on the shoe. And there were a few things that I didn't buy last time when I was there like a week ago that I thought, oh, well, if that's there next time when I come back, I will buy it or try it on again. And every one of those items was gone. And when I was looking at the shoes again today, I noticed that, yes, even the puke boots were gone. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a brave enough soul to say, I'm going to clean someone else's or someone else's pet's dried vomit out of these boots and put my own foot in them. But I just think that that really goes to show that if there's something that you think that you want, even a little bit, even if you think no one's going to want it because there's puke in it, it will be gone, or it very likely will be gone. So just keep that in mind next time you go shopping. And this last pair of shoes here it's kind of funny because I've always wanted a pair of shoes like this, but they never tend to fit me well because my feet are so wide. So when I saw these on the rack, I thought there's no way. They're too small and they're cute, so of course they're not going to look right or fit. But they did fit. I don't know what you would call these either. I'm going to guess they're sort of a clog style. And what I like about them is that the heel is not too high, and the toe is really rounded and kind of stubby and a little bit thick. So it's just very cute to me. I don't know, I just really liked these a lot. These are in 8.5, and they were $4.99. And this one I can see the size on the inside, and it says 8.5. But it still fits me, even though my foot is normally too wide for something this shape and that size. That is it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will talk to you soon.